let's just see. Hi, everyone. Oops. Hi, everyone. Welcome to Pilates. We're going to do a little bit of, hi, everyone. I'm glad people are joining. Hi, everybody. It's Andrea, and this is Pilates from Mindful Bodyworks. Once again, Pilates from my kitchen. And today we're going to do a little bit of, work on wrist and shoulder mobility, abs, of course. So if you have cans, you can use the cans as weights. These are like 2 cans of chickpeas that are going to become a stew later on today. But first, they're going to help us with Pilates. So I'll just give you a minute if you want to grab some cans. Of course, if you have, 1, 2, or 3 pound weights and you want to use those, go for it. But as I say, I'm going to use the cans to show you that that's totally possible and beneficial. And, doesn't have to be chickpeas. Whatever you've got in cans around your house is fine. And we'll definitely start standing today. So just give you a minute to get your props and whatever you need. If you are the kind of person who likes to have a little bit of props under your knees when you're kneeling, we're going to do a little bit of kneeling today. So I would recommend having a blanket or a towel or something you can fold up to make your mat a little thicker when we're doing some kneeling stuff. So we'll start standing. Let's get our weights or cans. And so just roll the shoulders up, back, and down. You want to have your feet about shoulder distance apart. Keep a slight bend through the knees. And we're just going to bring the arms up to shoulder level, or just a little below shoulder level. Just want you to see that kind of a little bit below shoulder level, and the palms are facing down. So holding the cans or the weights with the palms, or whatever you've got, with the palms facing down. And you're just gonna curl the wrists down and then bring them up again. So there's no break in the elbows here. You're gonna curl the wrists down and in, and up again. Curl the wrists down and in, and up again. So it's kind of like revving the motor on a motorcycle. Not that I've ever done that, but I'm imagining. Curl the wrists in and out, and curling the wrists in and out, and curling the wrists in and out. Watch what your thumbs are doing here. Sometimes they grip really hard. Thumbs, curl it in and out, and then again, curl in and out, and just 2 more, in and out, and 1 more, in and out. And then you're just going to flip your palms up, and for this one I would keep a slight elbow bend. Just tends to feel a little more comfortable in the body, and so you're going to curl the wrists. So you're going to curl our hands in towards your chest, and then go out. So we're curling the wrists in and out. So totally wrist range of motion. Might feel quite good if you've been spending a lot of time at a computer recently. So just curl the wrists in, I know, and out. In, the e-learning, the e-working, all the things, right? In and out. In and out. Just keeping the elbows neutral. In and out. We got 4 more. It's 4 and out. 3, just the wrists. That's the hard part, I know. 2 and 1. Nicely done. Keeping those elbows neutral, you can lift them up a little. We're going to do some bicep curls. It's in and out. So it's in and out. In. Just keeping the wrists neutral here. So the wrists are not broken. They're not curling in or out. The arm is slightly bent when it's lengthened. In and out. In and out. So now we're at kind of that elbow joint, everything around the elbow joint, biceps, triceps, all that. In, yeah, and out. We got 3 more. 3 and out. 2 and out. 1 and out. Nice. So now we're just going to get the whole shoulder joint moving, so you can have them your arms a little bit lower than you usually would. So you're going to have arms up by the ears, and then bring them down to that neutral. Up by the ears, bring them down to that neutral. Up by the ears, bring them down. Up by the ears, bring them down. And up by the ears, bring them down. Up by the ears, bring them down. Up by the ears, bring them down. 1 more. Up by the ears, bring them down. Then you're going to have your arms just kind of in front of you slightly, then you're just going to go out to the side. So now we're opening the shoulder blades out to the side and in. So shoulder blades pull towards each other as you go back, and then away from each other as you come front. Shoulder blades pull away, towards each other, and then away from each other. Shoulder blades pull towards each other, and away from each other. Keeping the crown tall here. Shoulder blades pull towards each other, away from each other. Towards each other, away from each other. Nice. Towards each other, away from each other. One more time. Towards each other, away from each other. Nice. So we're just going to have the arms down for a second. We'll go into a little bit of ankle mobility. Well, first, let's just roll out the spine. So tuck the chin in, curl the spine down, rolling down, drawing the low belly and softening through those knees, and even just dangling the head, letting the weights rest for a second there. Nice, just take a breath here. And again, heavy, a little bit heavier into the front of the feet if you can, if that doesn't feel too scary. A little bend through the knees and start to uncurl the spine one vertebrae at a time. Drawing the low belly in and stacking the vertebrae on top of each other, one at a time, as though you were a puppet master pulling the puppet up. Nice. So we're going to do a little bit, just keep your cans or weights or hands where they are. Your feet hip distance apart here, slight bend through the knees. We're just going to come up and down. So we're going to lift the heels and lower the heels. So starting to get those ankles involved. Lift the heels. Hear my floor creak. Lift the heels and lower. And you just want to, I do this too though. You want to fight the tendency. I know we want to move forward when we're coming up on our ankles. You don't need to do that. You just lift the chest. Keep the crown of the head tall. Lift the heels and lower. Lift the heels and lower. And we're just going to have the arms out up here. And we're going to do lift and lower. So out to the side as we lift, in as we lower. Out to the side as we lift, in as we lower. I know. Out to the side as we lift, in as we lower. Out to the side as we lift, in as we lower. Out to the side as we lift, in as we lower. Let's come up. See, we can hold with the heels up, and we do in and out. 5, 4, and out. 3, and out. 2, soft elbows, and out. I know, fight to keep the big toes down, and 1, and out. Nice, come all the way down, beautiful. I don't know if you can see my feet here. I'm gonna move, so I can move the screen so you can see my feet. Oh, I hope the phone doesn't fall. I'm just gonna turn my toes out 45 degrees and glue my heels together like a first position in ballet, or like there's a large pizza slice between my big toes. So they're kind of, my feet are in a V here, and we just got one more thing here for those arms. So we're gonna lift the heels again, and lower. 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 You can see I'm turning onto the outsides of the feet, so I gotta work to not do that, and lower. Really control the lift, use the big toes, and come down. Lift, and lower. And then let's come all the way up, holding that heel lift, coming up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down. We got 2 more, up and down, up and down. Nice. You can lower the heels here, let go. Let's just take those feet hip distance apart again. Roll the shoulders up and back. So now we're going to combine everything. We warmed up wrists, we warmed up elbows, we warmed up shoulders, starting to warm through the ankle joint here. And so you're going to sit the hips back. We're going to combo this for the bicep curl, right? So sit the hips back and lower. So keeping the elbows relatively high and in, just like we did in the warm up. In, sitting the hips back and out. Just really sit those hips back. Use the toes. Heavy into the heels, but use the toes when you squat. That's a really key thing. The whole foot has to be engaged for the arch to lift. And when the arch is engaged, your inner leg is a little more engaged too. And you want to think about moving the knees away from the center of line, right? So you don't want your knees to knock in towards each other. You want the knees to be coming out kind of over the second toes or even the third toes. Yeah, here we keep going. 3, yeah. And here we go. Sit it back. 2, yeah. And 1. Nice. Just come all the way up. Roll those shoulders up back. And now we're going to curl the spine down here. Roll the spine down. Just gentle roll down all the way. Put the cans out of your way. Nice. And we're actually going to walk out. So I just want to make sure that you can see me. Roll the spine down. Put the head down. You want to soften into the knees here. You can hand to elbow here, sway right and left.
Just that right end all feeling. I want to pour a little bit of weight into the big toe mounds of those feet. I know it can be a little scary. We tend to sit in the heels when we're in a forward fold. Soften through those knees, draw a little belly in, let yourself kind of dangle here. And then instead of coming up this time, we're going to place the palms and step back to plank. So you may want to put your knees down here and arrange your hands. You want to have your hands shoulder distance apart. Knees would be about hip distance apart. You can certainly have the knees down. So if you're doing a knee down plank, you're going to have your knees down kind of and back. So they're back behind the hip bone and down. Or if you're going to lifting those heels up. And let's just keep going with that ankle mobility. So really feel, push the hands into the mat. Use roll back your heels back. Roll the top of the toes. Roll your heels back. So you got it all. You got proximal mobility. Proximal stability, distal mobility. So you're moving things that are far away from the core. You're engaging the core as you do so. Moving forward and back. Beautiful. And then you just toes together, heels apart. Take a child's pose. Whew. Yeah, I'm starting to warm it up. Take a child's pose there. Sure, you can see me. I'm just gonna do a little camera work while you do your child's pose. Hope this works. Oh, maybe it won't. Oh no. Oh well. Okay. And then once you've come out of your child's pose, we're gonna come right away to all fours. So hands are, oops, I'm just hoping that stays. Hands are shoulder distance, knees are hip distance apart. We're just going to do a little bit of cat-cow here. So you're going to tilt the chin and the tailbone up. And then tuck the chin round the tailbone. Chin and tailbone out. And then round. So if you want, inhale, tilt the chin and the tailbone out. Reach. And then exhale, pull, tuck the tailbone, draw the chin and round to the upper back. Inhale, lengthen out that spine, reach the chin. Exhale, tuck the chin, curl the spine. One more time. Inhale, reach that chin out. And exhale, curl the chin in round through the upper back here. Beautiful. And just come to a neutral spine here. So this is a tricky one. I will move the camera down. We're going to come into an all fours position. We're working some side glute. Hopefully they can see a little bit lower down here. There we go. So you're gonna make sure that you're gonna have your left forearm down, and you can turn your left hand in a little bit, and then your right hand is just gonna meet your left forearm, and you're gonna be on your knees. You're gonna reach your right leg back, hip height. Well, I'm gonna see if I can move forward so you can see more of me, and turn your right hip out here. So you're on your left forearm, your right hand is down, and we're gonna lift up to diagonal. So lift up to diagonal. And lower. You're immediately going to feel it in your glutes. So your hip is turned out here and lower. We got 8 more. It's 8 and lower. I know. 7 and lower. 6 and lower. 5. We're lowering just to hip height and lower. 4. Woo, and lower. 3 and lower. 2 and lower. 1. And lower. Keep the leg up, turn the leg out more, send the leg back behind. So right leg is drawing back behind the hip bone more and turning out more, and we're going to pulse up towards the ceiling. It's 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. No, we're not done at that side. Dive the knee in towards your chest, reach it up diagonal again. Dive the knee in towards your right upper arm, and then bring it out again. Draw that knee in towards your right upper arm, reach it out again. Use your left elbow, use your left knee. I know it's hard, we're kind of collapsing in the core. It's a little tricky. Out. We got 3 more. It's knee in and out diagonal. 2 and out diagonal. 1 and out diagonal. Nice. And just land that knee down beside the other knee, toes together, heels apart, or knees together. Take child's pose, a few deep breaths here. I know, total side glute work, total fire. I'm gonna see if I can make sure you can see me better here. So we're doing the other, I'm gonna flip around so you can see what's going on the other side here. You're gonna have your right, this time you're gonna have your right forearm down. You're gonna have your left hand, it's right forearm down and kind of angled in. Left hand almost meets your right. And you're gonna lift your left leg up hip height. So the right knee is down, the right forearm is down. You're gonna turn your left leg out, and then we're gonna lift that leg up from hip height to diagonal, and then lower, back to hip height. From hip height to diagonal, back to hip height. From hip height to diagonal, back to hip height. And you might feel your side glute right away. Just from hip height to diagonal, and back. We got 4 more. Lift, and lower. 3, and lower. 2, and lower. 1, and lower. Beautiful. We're going to do that we're going to lift back to diagonal. Make sure you're really turned out and move your hip more back away from your left hand. And then we're going to pulse up towards the ceiling 8 times. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Let's dive that knee in. So bend left knee, draw in towards left forearm, diagonal it out. Draw left knee in towards the left forearm, send it out diagonal and back. Knee draws in, out and back. Press the right elbow. Knee draws in, out and back. I know. Knee draws in, out and back. Knee draws in, out and back. We got 2 more. Knee draws in, out and back. 1 more. Knee draws in, out and back. Good. And then just bring the knee down. Rest in child's pose. Sit your hips towards your heels. Soften any amount you can. Beautiful. And I'm just going to make sure you can see me here. Coming up, you're going to need, you're just going to take a few breaths again in child's pose. When you're ready, you're going to come up, sitting with the chest tall. The knees are up, the feet are down and hip distance apart. You're going to have your cans here. So some of you may remember that we have done this C-curve exercise together before. So you're going to inhale here, exhale, roll, draw the low belly in, roll back behind your sitting bones, and come up. Good. Inhale here, exhale, roll back behind your sitting bones, and come up. Good. Inhale here, exhale, roll back behind your sitting bones. Draw the low belly in, and then come up, lifting that chest. Yeah. And then roll back behind the sitting bones. Draw the low belly in, lift the chest, come up. Good. Roll back behind the sitting bones. Stay there with the, you've got the elbow, the arms extended with a slight elbow bend here. The wrists are neutral. Reach the left arm out to the side, look left, and come up. Roll back with both arms. Reach right arm out to the side, look right. Pull both arms in and up. Reach back, open left arm. You can totally do this without weights. Arm comes in and up. Beautiful. Roll back behind your sitting bones, drawing your low belly in, and reach the right arm out. Pull the right arm in and pull up. Good. Reach back, roll back behind your sitting bones, open your left arm out. Come back and in. Beautiful. Back here behind the sitting bones. Arms open out. Arms come in. Back it up. Nice. And out. Arm comes out. Roll it forward. And then coming up. Beautiful. We're actually going to put the cans kind of out of your way here. And you're going to we're going to roll onto your back. You're going to roll onto your back. Oh, my camera angles are terrible here. Sorry. I'm going to roll onto your back. I'm just going to make sure I can tilt this forward a little. Oh no. What did I do? I'm just going to, Hello? What happened to my camera? Oh no. Oh, so there we go. Sorry about that. And we're just going to make sure that the feet are knee distance apart here. And you're going to Roll the spine down. So hold onto your hamstrings, roll back onto your back here. You're gonna come onto your back. There we go. So coming onto your back here, you're gonna make sure that the feet are hip distance apart. The low belly's drawing in. Just carefully take the hands to the fronts of the sitting bones, the fronts of the hip bones. Let's landmark first. So, if you've done Pilates with me before, you know I like to find the sacrum. So sacrum heavy on the mat, back low ribs heavy on the mat. Take your hands to the fronts of your hip bones. That's your pelvis, right? So we're going to roll the pelvis. So you're going to roll the fronts of those hip bones back towards your rib cage, drawing your low back towards the mat. And then you're going to roll the fronts of those hip bones back towards your kneecaps, moving your low back away from the mat. Roll those front hip bones back towards your rib cage, drawing the low belly in. And then inhale, roll those front hip bones back towards your kneecaps. Exhale, roll those front hip bones back towards your rib cage, drawing the low back down. Inhale, roll those front hip bones back towards your kneecaps. Exhale, roll those front. And then exhale, slowly lower down. Inhale, roll those shoulder blades up off the mat. Exhale, slowly lower down. Inhale, roll those shoulder blades up off the mat. Exhale, slowly lower down. We got 4 more. Inhale, roll those shoulder blades up off the mat. Exhale, slowly lower down. Inhale, roll those shoulder blades up off the mat and slowly lower down. We got 2 more. Roll them up off the mat, slowly lower down. And last one, roll those shoulder blades up off the mat, slowly lower down. Beautiful. We're going to add some marching. So roll those shoulder blades up off the mat, draw the knee in, and put the head down, put the foot down. Left knee draws in as we lift the head and roll down. Right knee draws in as we lift the head and then roll down. Left knee draws in as we lift the head and roll down. Right knee draws in as we lift the head and down. Left knee draws in as we lift the head and down. One more time. Right knee draws in as we lift the head and lower. Last time, left side. Left knee draws in and lower. Beautiful. You're just going to let your abs rest here for a moment. You can draw your knees in towards your chest, rolling it out side to side here if you wish. Beautiful. Just rolling it side to side. You're not totally done with the abs yet. So you're going to have your hands like the letter T out from your shoulders on the mat. And you're going to have your knees up tabletop here. And you're just going to make sure that you have knees over hips and squeeze the knees together. And we're just going to send both knees down to the right, keeping that left shoulder blade pinning towards the mat. And then pull both knees back up to center. Inhale here, exhale, send both knees down to the left, keeping that right shoulder blade pinned to the ground. And then both knees come back to center here. Both knees come down to the right, pinning that left shoulder blade down. Use the obliques to draw both knees back to center. Good. Send both knees down to the left, pinning that right shoulder blade down. And then bring it back to center. Good. Both knees down to the right. Back to center. Good. Both knees down to the left. Back to center. Nice. Both knees down to the right. Back to center. Good. Both knees down to the left. Back to center. One more time. Both knees down to the right. And back to center. Beautiful. You can just draw your knees here in towards your chest. Coming up, we're going to come onto the knees. So you're going to have your knee, you may want to grab your can weights here. We're going to be going back. And I recommend knees hip distance apart and toes curled under. So kind of like we would be doing if we were going to be playing around with camel or Strasana pose. We're going to have the arms out here. So all I want you to do to begin with, you can do without the cans first. It is kind of let's put the cans down actually. You can have your hands interlaced at the base of the skull here. And I want you to think about that curling motion we just did. So toes are curled under here, knees are hip distance apart, and you're going to go back. You're going to feel this in your hamstrings and glutes, and then you're going to come up. And I'm not going back very far, as you can see. You're going to go back. So you're going to feel that tucking motion. Feel like you're tucking your tailbone, and then your chin is tucking in as well. I'm going back and forward. I know, feel it. Back line of the body. Back and forward. Back. Whoo. And forward. We haven't even added the arms yet. Back, keeping the elbows wide.
and forward. One more, back and forward. Good, so let's, if you want, you can add you can add on. You don't have to if you don't want to. So instead of having the hands at the base of the skull, you can have this neutral wrist, neutral arm position with a slight elbow bend. And then we're gonna draw the low belly in and reach back. Yep, and up, and back, and up, I know. Back, and up, back, and up, back, and up, back, and up. One more time, back, and up. Good. And I'm just gonna face you. We're gonna stay in this kneeling position, adding a little more. So we're just gonna have the arms out here, and you're just gonna draw the elbows in again, and out. Second set, in, and out. We've got 6 more. 6, and out. 5, and out. Squeezing shoulder blades together. 4, and out. 3, and out. 2, and out. And 1, and out. And let's just let the weight sink a bit ear level, and we're just gonna push up and lower. 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 3 more, 3 and lower. 2 and lower. Crown of the head is tall. 1 and lower. Just and letting arms go here. We've certainly prepped the shoulders for what's next. Let's do a little side body interlude. Knees hip distance apart or wider here if you feel like you need it. Again, interlace the hands at the base of the skull just like we did at the beginning of that quad exercise. And we're just gonna, I call this one I'm a little teapot. So you're gonna tip your right elbow down, keeping the left armpit chest open and pressing down into that left knee. So we're just stretching that left side and then coming all the way up. So inhale here and exhale, tipping that left elbow like you're emptying a teapot on your left side, really lengthening that right side, pressing down into the right knee, keeping the right armpit chest open and then coming up, nice. And then tipping down through the right elbow, lifting that left elbow, lifting the left armpit chest, drawing the low belly in, and then come up. See, watch what your neck is doing here. Mine is totally scrunching. I was gonna watch that. Settle the neck. Tip towards the left, press the right knee down. See what makes a difference when you engage the knee and up. We got 1 more each side. Right elbow tips down, whoo, and come up. And then left elbow tips down and come up. Nice. So from here, you're staying kneeling. I'm just gonna back up, hopefully you can see me. I'm gonna put my right hand down about a foot from the outside of my right knee. So I'm going to be on my right hand and my right knee. I'm going to have my left hand on my left hip, and I'm going to lift my left leg up hip height. I think some of you know where we're going here. We're going to kick that left leg forward, flexing the foot, point the toe, send it back behind your hip. I know. So you're totally propping yourself up here on your right hand. You got to use your right armpit muscles. Left foot flexes, pull left toe back. If this is too big a range of motion, shorten it. So just draw your left foot in a little, and then push it back behind the hip a little. You don't have to come all the way forward, because you can see my body moves more when I move my left foot forward, so I need to do a smaller range of motion. Left foot flexes, point the left toes back. So we're totally getting side body here. Left foot flexes forward, point the toe, bring it back. See, you can keep it at least hip height though. Left foot flexes, even if the range of motion is smaller. Left toe points back, 1 more, left toe flexes, and left toe points back. Beautiful, and you can just land that one. Whew, come all the way up. Good. And then you're gonna, same thing on the other side here. So left hand is going to be about a foot from the outside of your left knee. Your inner wrist faces the knee, right? And then you're gonna bring right hand to right hip and lengthen out right leg. So I'm trying to keep a certain amount of length through the torso without kind of pushing my ribs out though. So that's a little tricky. Draw the ribs in. Right foot comes forward and flexes. Point the toe, bring it back behind the hip. So the right leg is long here. Right foot flexes, point the toe, bring it back behind the hip. Press into those left armpit muscles, I know. Right foot flexes forward, point the toe, bring it back behind the hip. Whoa. Right foot flexes, point the toe, bring it back behind the hip. Yeah. Right foot flexes,
Point the toe, bring it back behind the hip. Woo! And we got 2 more right foot flexes. Point the toe, bring it back behind the hip. 1 more right foot flexes. Then point the toe, bring it back behind the hip and come up. Woo! Nice, and just sit towards your heels here. Let's just sit towards the heels with the toes curled under. So kind of giving low body a break, but stretching the feet at the same time. So toes are curled. If this is really excruciating for you, of course, come and sit on your feet. Inhale the arms up here and just roll the shoulders back and down. And we've done a lot of shoulder blade work today. Move a little forward and back here. And we're just going to inhale right arm forward. Let's just stretch out the shoulders here because we're going to move on. So right arm comes across the body. Yeah, we're not done. Don't worry. We're just taking a little break. I don't know if it feels like a break for the feet though. Inhale here. And exhale. 2. So settling that right shoulder back in line with the left. 3. 4. And 5. And then I just want you to bring left elbow center, thread right arm through a little more, and then just grab wrist or tuck the elbows and start to ram through the upper back here. It's 1, 2, and 3. Inhale the arms up. And exhale, come all the way out. If you need to here, you can sit back on your heels. That's a long time sitting on the toes, right? Right arm up, right elbow bends, the fingertips touch between the shoulder blades. You can take your left hand to your right elbow and start to move that upper arm towards behind the head. See if you can keep your chin lifted. 2, yeah. 3, 4, and 5. Good. Inhale both arms up for a moment and then just bring them down. So if you were sitting with your toes curled under, you may want to uncurl your toes for the other side. Yes, I look a lot less tall, don't I? You're going to sweep your left arm in front of your body, make a hook with your right. You feel the resistance of that hook and then pull your, I did. Yeah, we are live. And we're just going to pull the arm across the body. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. We're just going to bring the elbows center. You're going to bring the arms in, lift it up, and then curl down. It's 1, 2, 3. Good. Inhale all the way up. Arms up, and then let it go. Reaching left arm up. Bending left elbow, touching the hand between the shoulder blades, bringing right hand to left elbow. It's 1, 2, just going to make sure everyone can see me. 3, 4, and 5. Good. And then just arms down. Roll the shoulder blades up, back, and down. We're going to come onto our sides. Hope everyone's okay. It's funny. I got an odd message from Christine. I wonder if the video's not working. Let me know if there's a problem. We're going to come onto your left side. You may want to have the Jane Fonda arm. You may not. I'm just going to move the camera so that you can have a better view of being on the side. Hopefully get the camera angles better next time. So you're going to be on your side here. Left arm long. And yeah, really, it's a lot lower. Sorry, guys. There we go. So you're going to have your arm long. And you're just going to be on your side, and you're going to touch the toes towards the front corner of your mat. So your legs are kind of diagonal-ish. You want to make sure that your chest is, there's a space between your chest and the ground, that your hips are stacked here. You're going to lift the right leg and then lower. So heels are together. Lift right leg and flex to lower. Point the toe on that right leg to lift and flex to lower. Point the toe on that right leg to lift, flex to lower. Point the toe on that right leg to lift, flex to lower. Point the toe on that right leg to lift, flex to lower. One more time, point the toe on that right leg to lift and flex to lower. And then you're going to draw your right heel in, bend the knee, extend the leg, flex the foot down. Draw the right toe in, extend the leg, flex the foot, and bring it down to join that left heel.
Draw the toe in, lift the leg up, and bring it down. Draw the toe in, lift the leg up, and bring it down. And again, draw the toe in, lift the leg, and bring it down. Last time, draw the toe in, lift the leg, and bring it down. Good. We're going to reach that right leg hip height. So this time the legs are in line with each other. So the right toes are facing forward. You're going to point the toe down and in front of you, lift the leg up, and then bring it back behind your hip. Lift the right leg up, point the toe in front of you, almost in level with your hip, and then come up, bring it back and down. Up, point the toe in front of you, bring it back and down, and then up, point the toe in front of you, bring it back and down. Good. We're going to do a little bit of inner thigh work. So right knee is up, left toes are pointed, left leg is lengthened. You're going to lift that left leg up hip height and lower. And 7, lift that left leg up hip height and lower. 6 to lift and lower. 5 to lift and lower. 4 to lift and lower. 3 to lift and lower. 2 to lift and lower. One more. 1 to lift and lower. Lift that left leg up hip height again. Make small mug size, inside of a mug size circles with your toes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Other side. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And you just put the leg down, and you can come onto your back here. We'll stretch out both legs that worked here. So right foot and ankle flex above left knee into that figure 4 shape. And you're just going to bring your right palm to your inner right thigh, soften right thigh away from you. Not inner knee, but inner thigh. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Good, and then pick up the left foot, interlace the hands. 1, draw your left knee in towards you. 2, 3, 4, and 5. Good. And you're just going to take that left foot down again. Draw the right ankle to the outside of that left knee. Extend arms, extend legs, and send both knees down to the right. It's 1, 2, 3, so stretching that left outer thigh. 4, and 5. Good, and just come back to center here. And we're just gonna come on to your other side. So I'm gonna flip around. You can flip around if you want. You're gonna be on your right side with your left leg facing up. Can everybody hear me? I hope everybody's okay. All right, so the video seems to be working. So you're gonna be on your side. The toes are gonna be pointing towards the front of the mat. And you're gonna lift the left leg and lower. Point the toe up, lift the leg, and lower. Point the toe, lift the leg, and lower. Point the toe, lift the leg, and lower. We got 2 more. Point the toe, lift the leg, flex to lower. Point the toe, lift the leg, and flex to lower. Draw the knee in, lift the leg up, and flex to lower. Draw the knee in, lift the leg up, and flex to lower. Draw the knee in, point the toe, and flex to lower. We got 2 more. Draw the knee in, point the toe, and flex to lower. 1 more. Draw the knee in, point the toe, and flex to lower. Good. We're going to do that toe tap. So you're going to have left leg lifts and taps in front of your hip bone. And then left leg reaches back behind your right hip. Left toe taps forward, reaches up, taps back. Left toe reaches forward, taps up, and comes back. Left toe reaches forward, taps up, and comes back. 1 more time. Left toe reaches forward, comes down, up, and comes back. Good, and you're going to draw the left foot down, right knee up, right leg lengthens. It's 1, lifting that right leg for the inner right thigh. 2, 3, 4, 5. You're going to make small mud-sized circles with your right toe. It's 1, 2,
3, 4, 5. And the other direction, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then put the leg down. We're just going to come onto our backs. I hope it's working. I hope the video's working. We're going to come onto our back. Let me know if you can't hear me or if you can't see me, please. And then you're just going to have, we were working that left side, so you're going to have that left foot and ankle figure 4 above the right knee, pushing your left hand away from you. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Good, picking up that right foot, drawing the right knee in towards your chest, interlacing the hands at the base, at your hamstring, and draw that right knee in, and reach left leg away from you. Draw right knee in, reach left leg away from you. Draw right knee in, and exhale left knee away from you, and then draw that right knee in. Exhale, left knee away. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Uninterlace the hands, land that right foot. Make sure the outer left ankle is on the outside of the right knee. Plant the palms, plant the arms like a letter T out from your shoulders. Send both knees down towards the left, so the inner right knee is facing the ground. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Good, inhale to come all the way up. Good, and just draw the knees in towards you here. We're going to come up for a little bit of abs and stretching here. Good. And we're just going to come up. We're going to come onto the hands and knees here. We are going to do a little more planking, but let's have a little wrist interlude before we do that. So you can bring your wrists quite close to your knees if you're still working on wrist strength like me. I'm going to put myself forward here. And I'm just going to sway it out side to side. So I've got my toes curled under here, knees hip distance apart, and I've got my hands quite close to my knees because I'm working on wrist strength. I'm just swaying weight right and left into my wrists. And then I'm going to turn the hands out. Turn the hands out. Swaying weight right and left. Good. And I'm going to keep turning the hands out so the inner wrists are facing each other now, and I've got weight coming into both hands. Good, and then I'm going to just turn the inner wrists forward here. Good. Beautiful. And then if you like, with your toes curled under, drawing your heels towards your heels, drawing your low belly in, you can start to straighten those arms. You're going to feel quite a forearm stretch, although we did some wrist curls earlier, so you might feel a little bit less. You might feel warmed up already. Good. And then come forward, and then you're going to make fists, and you're going to point your fingers in so they face each other, and you're going to have your hands knee distance apart here, and you're going to make a fist, and then open it up. So you're on your outer wrists, more or less, and the top of your hand. Curl your hands into fists, open it up. Curl your hands into fists, open it up. One more time. Curl your hands into fists, open it up. Curl your hands into fists, and open it up. Curl your hands into fists, and open it up. Beautiful, and then just shake it out. Nice. So we are going to do a little bit of planking here. So hands, let's start with the knees down, and back behind the hips. Hands shoulder distance apart, feeling the armpit muscles working, drawing the shoulder blades away from each other. So there's a slight puffing between those shoulder blades. You can see that that's happening already in my body. But at the same time, I want to keep the crown of the head drawing forward and the heels drawing back. So I'm just going to reach the heels back again. Yeah, just reaching those heels back again, really lifting that side body as well. It's 1. You might see me shaking. 2, 3, 4, and 5. Good. Resting those knees down. We're going to come onto the left forearm. So I am going to make the left forearm parallel to the top edge of my mat, the short edge of my mat. I'm going to have my knees 45 degrees out from my torso. I'm going to have my hand on my hip. You can plank on your knees, or you can stack the feet. We'll walk you through that. So push into the elbow, lift the hips up. I'm just going to start here with a 3 breath hold. It's 1, 2, and 3, and down. Yeah. If you want to, you can totally still have the knees down. You're going to step your right foot, the inner right foot down, the outer right left foot back. And coming up here, you can reach the right arm if you wish. 1, 2, 3, I know. 4, pull the left hip up. 5, and bring it down. Beautiful. Coming onto the other side. Yeah, just reaching legs forward to come to the other side. Right forearm is down. Right elbow is underneath the right shoulder. Knees are 45 degrees in front of you, feet are stacked. Right, left hand is on the left hip. You're going to press into the elbow to lift up. It's 1, 2, 3, and lower. Good, and this time you're gonna step your left inner foot forward, outer right foot back. You could also stack the feet on top of each other if you wish. Lift left arm, it's 1. So that right forearm is really working. 2, your side body's really working. 3, feet are working. 4, and 5, just rest that right hip down. Good, beautiful. And you can just come back up here to that 4-point kneel here. Just a 4-point kneel. One more thing for the core. One more thing. Reach that right leg back, hip height. Reach that left arm in line with your left ear. Just look down. Elongate the back of the head. So lengthen out the back of the neck. 2, 3, 4, 5. Left arm down, right knee down. Good. With both knees down, so reach left leg hip height. Reach right arm in line with the right ear. Lift that left leg a little more. 1. Press down, use the armpit muscles on the left side. 2, 3, 4, 5. And you're just gonna lower the knee down. Toes touch. Coming back to child's pose. I hope the live is still working. I think it's working. Good. And we're just going to come up to do a little stretch here. So from the child's pose, you come back to all fours here. And just step left foot forward, center of the mat. And you can walk right knee back towards behind right hip. Draw the chest up. Draw the shoulders up. Oops, sorry guys. Camera angles. Left knee works forward, chest lift. You can interlace the hands behind you if you wish. We did a lot of shoulder work here. You should have a little more mobility. Just 1. Yep. 2, 3, 4, and 5. Good. I'm just going to plant either hand on the hand on either side of the left foot. Left foot is roughly center of the mat. I'm going to curl the toes under. We're going to do a little pyramid stretch here. So pulling that left hip bone back, contracting the front of the left thigh to lift the kneecap, or bending the knee if it feels like a lot, and then just folding forward. And that you got here. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Good. And then you can just soften that right knee down again. Step the left knee back in line with the right. And then we're just going to step right foot forward here. So right foot steps forward and center of the mat. The right knee can track a little forward of the right ankle in this position. So it's either stacking directly above the right ankle or tracking a little bit forward to be safe in this position. Left knee back behind the hip. And then we're curling the left toe under or on the top of the left foot, really sinking into that right hip and lifting the chest. See if you can draw the ribs in. You can see I'm a rib popper. I'm going to watch that. It's 2. Yeah. 3, 4, and 5. Good, and both hands down. And then curl the back toes under, coming up to that pyramid stretch. So both legs are straight and strong. The front toes are facing towards the front of the mat. The back toes are facing kind of 45 to 60 degrees out. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Good. And just step left foot forward to join right. Sink into those feet again. Hand to elbow. Let the crown of the head point down. Let your torso go here. Really let it go. Just take a few breaths. Uncurl the spine. One vertebrae at a time here. Beautiful. Let's do a little bit of balance work just to finish things off. So feet hip distance apart here. A little better. Feet hip distance apart. Actually, I'm lying. Toes together, heels apart. So we're going to pick right knee up. And we're going to send left elbow to right knee. Okay, so let's have arms wide. Pick left knee up. Right elbow, left knee. Left. Right. Left. Right. And hold. Left, right. 1. Keeping the elbow straight. 2. And 3. Bring it down. Lift the left knee up. Right elbow to left knee. 1. 2. And 3. It's hard to keep straight, I know. Yeah. Arms down. Let's lean a little bit for the good of our inner and outer thighs here. So point the left toes out from the hip. Lift the left foot up. Lean. Reach right arm across the body. Left arm leans in line with the leg. Come up. Balance. And down. Up. Arms out to the T. Right foot points out. Right leg lifts. Now lean. Left arm across the front of the body. Right arm reaches in line with the leg. Back to balance. Then put the foot down. Good. Pick up left, point the left toe. Pick up the left foot. Right arm crosses the body. Left arm reaches in line with the leg. Out. And center. Good. Arms are out. Right toe reaches. Right arm reaches across the, left arm reaches across the body. And center, one more time. Left leg reaches. Left arm reaches in line with the leg. Balance. Back to center, one more time. Arms are out. Right toe reaches. Right arm reaches. Left arm crosses the body. And then back to center. Let's take a moment here. Roll the shoulders up, back and down. Roll the wrists out here. Good. We're just going to take the arms behind us, feet hip distance apart here. Inhale, reaching the hands away from the bottom. See if you can draw the ribcage in as you do that. Keep the crown of the head long. It's 1. So I'm trying not to, I'm totally a rib popper. I'm trying to not pop the ribs. I want to keep the ribs pulling in. 2, 3, 4, and 5. Good. And just rolling it out. Good, and then inhale, arms up. And exhale. One more time, inhale the arms up. And exhale. Thank you so much for practicing with me today. I hope that was okay.